So we shall start our session. I believe it is 68B. So we have came long across more than a year. Or weekly this program. And today's topic is that detachment is not sacrifice, rather key to enjoy life 100%. So detachment, first we need to understand that what is detachment? So detachment is not avoiding anything, not absenteeism, not running away from anything. So that is not the detachment. Detachment in the spiritual meaning is you get detached from the outcome of the events or any kind of mental construct. You get detached from that. Any idea of what is going to happen, what you want, that's just a concept. De-link yourself from that is detachment. If we don't do that, then what will happen? Normally what happens is that if anything we want, we are directly go into the outcome. Our focus is on the outcome. So, and then in the process, what happens is the outcome, they affect us. We become a slave of the outcome. If it happens, we become happy. If it doesn't happen, we become unhappy. That means the outcome controls us. The real meaning of detachment is not that you are not involved in the world, but it has to do with how you respond and react to the world. If you're completely absorbed in the events that happen to you in the world, then you will be at the mercy of everything around you. Everything around you will control you. Every little challenge or upset would have the potential to trigger you and create a negative spiral in your life. So what the spirituality can offer here, spiritual advice is you take a time to develop a higher state of awareness. That is the detachment. You detach from your lower self, lower events. You are not running away anywhere. But you go to the higher state of awareness so that you can, from that state or from that independent position, you can see the bigger picture, what is happening around you and what is developing within you. You can become aware of the origin of your negative emotions also. And when it is happening, then you can detach from there because you can see this is happening. You can stop it that to going out from you. So in that case, you will not, react, you will respond. And this is how we detach from our desires or emotions, but still we can want them. It is not that you have to drop the wanting altogether. So that is the original thing I was telling, that it is not, we are walking path of householder spirituality. We are not asking you to drop, everything you enjoy in life. That is a path of sannyas. We are not following the path of sannyas. We are householder spirituality. We enjoy life, everything. But only thing is that what happens is they control us. These objects, they control us. So this detachment means you develop some mechanism so that they can no longer control us. We can still enjoy, but they cannot control. That is only possible if you are not, you yourself is not become slave of the outcome. Then you got that independence. No matter what the outcome is, you are not affected. If something happens, which is your liking is good. If something happens without your liking, that is also good. You just accept as it is. This is the thing what has been told in the Gita a long time back. It's a secret formula of so-called how to live a life. Okay. Karmani dharmani vaste ma phaleshu kadachana. The moment you associate yourself with the result, fall, then what will happen is that will control you. But if you are detaching yourself from that, and detaching means your mind level, you are dropping that, what is the mind creation attached to that. Only you are dropping your mind, you're controlling your mind. This mind is not focusing on that. Then whatever in the life is offering, that become 100%. Let me put it into another way. You want something in life, but at the same time, you got carried away with what is the thing, external events are coming. Like you are in the crowd and crowd is pushing you to go someplace and all. How you can manage that you don't go like a herd of sheep, like a crowd and going somewhere. Simply step aside and watch. You can still go wherever you need to go, but you need not to go into the mad rush of the things what is happening. This is called detachment. It gives you power to choose, power to enjoy, rather than going into the slave of the outcome. Our life, most of the things, the suffering happens because if something we expected that didn't happen, like, or in Gautam Buddha says, attachment is the root cause of all sufferings. Attachment to anything. We want to have something, some object. We wanted to eat some particular food. We want that the particular person behave in a certain way. We want that all to whom we meet, they say good thing about you. All these kind of things. You have so many expectations. Okay, even you posted something, you want minimum 50 likes to happen in next 2 days. If that doesn't happen, then you got upset, you got angry, your emotions comes out. And so indirectly what is happening is that your expectation, what is your mind construct, by the way? Okay, it's created by your mind. Those are over our 5 senses, because we experience the world using our 5 senses. And where the experience happen inside us. Okay. What we try to do, we try to control external events, and that become an input through 5 senses. Then we process in the brain and become happy. And you cannot control all the external events of your life. That is for sure. So what happens is, the formula of running a life, you started with a failed formula to run your life and become happy. You feel happiness or success and disappointment all inside you. So why don't you clean yourself inside, and whatever outside happening, let it happen on its own way. Your scope becomes very much achievable. Then you have to manage your inner side, not outside. So what we do is, we have to pull our senses inward so that we are not dependent on that. Our condition is not dependent upon the input we are getting from the senses. It does not mean you have to get rid of the objects, no. But no matter what is coming, you process it so that every time it is give you the so-called positive feeling. That technique is come only through detachment. Only thing you have to purify our inner thing, and all these things if I get that, I will be happy. This is prompted by our mind, thought mind, which is basically ego. If we silence our ego is not going to tell good, bad, this, that, and all those things. If the ego is silent, then no matter what I am interacting with, what I am getting, I accept it as it is at this moment. The matter ends there. Otherwise, I'm looking into everything in the glasses of my ego or expectations. So that's why we cannot enjoy it in the true form. If we wear a red color glass, everything will look red. That is not the true color. Okay. So if we keep that red spectacles out of my sight, then I can see the world as it is. And internally, what I need to do, I have to accept everything as it is. Acceptance. If I can accept everything as it is, I have no conflict, I have no desire. But that does not mean that I need to drop my wanting that. I'm not saying that. You must still want something, but drop the outcome. You are waiting for something with the expectation. That is in Hindi, the terminology called pratiksha. You're waiting something to happen and you know the outcome. So waiting with the expectation of the outcome is called pratiksha. In spirituality, only you have to drop the expectation of the outcome, but you can still wait. Waiting without expectation, it is called titiksha. Titiksha is a state with a universal acceptance of no matter what comes, you go beyond that level. This outcome cannot control you anymore. And in the higher enlightened state, they call it infinite patience. They means time doesn't matter. It's not frustrating if you don't get it in 2 days, 2 months and things. They accept it as it is. At this moment, I got this and this is what I'm supposed to get. I'm okay with it. So if that happens, then nothing will control you anymore. So there is no further expectation or further disappointment associated with it. So earlier I was giving one formula that happiness is inversely proportional to the expectation. Earlier one day I was just writing and showing the happiness inversely proportional 1 by expectation. So if those who understand the mathematical terms or calculus, they know if that the denominator is tending towards 0, expectation tending towards 0, happiness tending towards infinite. That is the state all masters are. And I told, I think many times that the masters, they don't expect even a thank you. Somebody's life changed. Somebody suffering with a disease and that got healed. Master doesn't expect even a thank you from that person. If it comes, it's okay. If it doesn't come, that is also okay. That is the key. So how we can go to a level when my expectation can be tending towards 0 by detachment. They don't expect that somebody should behave like that. Even somebody should say thank you to me. It doesn't matter. Truly. It's not faking that, okay, I don't want to listen, but inside if he tells me, I'll be happy. No. Truly no expectation at all. They're just operating from the joy of giving that I explained in the earlier session. So they don't expect anything in return. So that level is much beyond that sensual, the 5 senses, sensual pleasures, like whatever 5 senses can bring, it's much beyond that. So that is the form there. So they are connected they are getting it from within. And normally people looking happiness outside. Everything have a source. You connect and get it. This is an infinite source. You don't need anything. You don't need anything, but at the same time, no need to run away from it. People think that detachment means it is you have to leave everything what you enjoy in life. You have to sacrifice this. You cannot take this food, cannot wear that kind of dress, cannot visit these places, cannot have some luxurious place to stay. No, this detachment they equate detachment with sannyas, because last several hundred years the sannyasis, they put those ideas into the mind of people. So that is poverty consciousness. Begging is not glorifying. Begging is not at all supported. There is no glory in that. You can choose to just experience the life of begging. That's okay. But glorifying it, that enjoyment is any less spiritual? No. We are walking householder spirituality. Our aim is Aishwaryavan Muktatma. Aishwaryavan. The examples of these are King Janak, Lord Krishna, Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka, and Gautam Buddha and all. They came from royal family. So they don't have a shortage of money. They are, affluent, prosperity conscious. At the same time, they have achieved the ultimate spiritual goal. So what I mean to say is, this is not a precondition. The poverty is not a precondition to get enlightened and be the apex value. It's a path. It's a path. You can choose to follow the path of sannyas. That is a different thing. But by itself, spirituality, it does not demand poverty or begging or renunciation. So you don't associate renunciation with detachment. Only thing, the attachment, the mental fixation has to go, because that is driving you crazy. If you drop that, then whatever you are doing, that become a meditation. Driving, walking, cooking, everything can be meditation, because if you are concentrating 100%, you can enjoy that activity in the multiple levels, full spectrum. In our 6-step meditation, we practice now. Feel where you are sitting, feel where your feet are, and all this kind of stuff. You never know how your body is experiencing external world. If you're eating, you are not actually experiencing full range of the value of the food and how it is being melted in your mouth and all those things. You just go with the level. Maybe you have to go some big restaurant, order something, put something in your mouth and talk and check mobile, and you are not concentrating you are not enjoying eating. Yeah? You are not enjoying food. You are enjoying the level. Okay, you are enjoying the drama of eating, not the eating itself. If you eat properly, give your 100% in eating, you will not develop any kind of attachment or fixation or something like that. That's another key. If you are fixed with something, that means your mind is working. But if you do some activity so intensely, so involved, that mind stops working, then you enjoy that thing 100%. Everything, all level, fully involved. I'm just giving eating as an example. So fully involved into that, then mind stops, then enjoy become 100%. It's connected. But if our mind mind is working, then mind creates a vision or something, it brings out some old memories of something and they contaminate our experience. Then our experience can never be 100%. Like I was, suppose you are meeting somebody, some of your relative after say 10 years. Moment you meet that relative, your 10 years back, whatever happened, that all file will get opened up. That fellow might have been changed in last 10 years, but you will not accept that person as it is. You will see that person in the view, in the contamination of your mind about the concept about that person, what you had 10 years back. If you said anything bad words and all this those kinds of things will come first. Then you start interacting. That will govern your reaction. Isn't it? All of us, we do that. We cannot take it as it is. Our memory, our past experience, even if not our experience, somebody told about the person about that. So all these things comes. And our mind tells us, this is the important information you have to consider before you interacting with that guy. Think the other way around. You met somebody for the first time. Okay. So somebody in the aircraft sitting next to you, chit chat and develop friendship. First time you met. You will have no preconceived idea about that person. No? You enjoy the company, enjoy the talking, and it may be interesting. So in this second case, you are enjoying the company of a person almost 100% because you don't have the background. Your mind cannot contaminate you. You don't have the previous memory of that. So now lift this case in your daily life. If you're meeting every person in your life without any preconceived idea, every meeting will be like a first time meeting, huh? Pure. Your life will transform. It will be beautiful. So this particular aspect is called living by moment. You don't bother what happened in the past, neither you worry what will going to happen in future. It doesn't matter. You start fresh. There's no contamination. Clean. So your inside is clean. What you did here, you just clean your brain before interacting with that person. That's it. And this particular thing is called detachment. You are detached from your mind constructs. So that your interaction, maybe you are talking, you use your voice and all that, one of the or listening, the one of the five senses to interact. That interaction will be pure because it is not contaminated. Okay. So this is the key to enjoy life 100%. Just not to allow it to be contaminated. And this insight, if you operate from that level, what masters they do, they call antakaran shuddhi, like inside clean. Their mind is clean, emotions are cleaned. They don't have any preconceived idea. Whatever you do, whatever you say, doesn't change the way they act or react on anything. Okay. And that level, they accept you as you are. How it is possible? Because they don't find anybody as other. They see main hi main hu, charo taraf. Okay, it's my reflection, it's my mirror I'm seeing everywhere. So what to criticize? Okay, so we got detached from the form of people. In different forms, different look, different thing, good, bad, ugly, and all this gone. They see the human being as an expression of the divine all the time. So that's why, what to complain? There is nothing to complain. Everything is expression of the creator. And that's it. Matter ends there. It is very simple. Living a detached life is very simple. Live by the moment, guided by your soul consciousness. Everything around you take as an expression of the divine. That's it. Only it needs you to get pure connection. Your attention is to that divinity which is flowing through you. If you're operating from that, your attention is there. Then no matter outside what is happening, it will not bother you. Somebody said in the WhatsApp some story, and Belur Math, some Ramakrishna mission. Somebody came to visit some Maharaj, and he was telling how there's a lot of dirt. Outside the boundary, there's a lot of dirt, and people throw garbage, and maybe some people urinating and all this kind of. Welcome. I saw that. Inside, I came before coming to the Math. I was in the side of the Ganges, and I saw lot of in the evening time, lot of couple are sitting there, lot of lovers, and they are doing some obscene behavior, and I don't like them. So, and finally you came. So then Maharaj said, okay, do one thing. I'll give you a glass full of water, full. I will give you the answer. Just take the glass, make outside the boundary wall, make one round, and then inside another round, and they come back. Just only condition is that the glass it cannot drop, even a single drop of water should not go there. Go around Belur Math and come back. Then I will give you your answer. So then he was scared, to not to lose any water. So we came back after 2 hours. So then Maharaj told, okay, how many dirt you have seen this journey? How many people you see they're doing all these obscene acts? I said, no, I didn't see, because I'm concentrating here. Now, how can I see that? Well, exactly that is the point. If you're connected and your attention is there up, you cannot see all gandagi. But if your attitude is to look into the negativity and the dark corners, always you will see dark corners, always. What some people are doing is none of your business. The dirt is in your mind. Clean that mind first. Okay, so this type of thing. So how you can get that? Simply have to detach from the lower self. The self who tries to find fault in everything. So that's why they lose the perfection all the time, because the connection is not, attention is not up. So what we need to do here, we have to pull our attention from the external going to inner. And that is called detachment. There is a 36 steps where in Kashmir Shaivism, this has been explained, how originally the creator has been from different layers, 36 layers. The lowermost is the 5 senses. 36 steps, how you can say that Jiva becomes Shiva becomes Jiva. Okay, in other words. So the Shiva don't go with Jatadhari stuff. I'm just saying Shivatva, that ultimate, the creator from the lower level, lowermost level of human being. 36 steps. We study Kashmir Shaivism to understand how the step came down, down, and down to become a Jiva and then operating with the 5 senses. Why the study is important? Because if we retrace those paths, we go to the Shivatva. If you just do the reverse engineering, then you will ultimately go there. At the lowermost level is the 5 senses. So people misunderstood that You have to leave that five senses. It doesn't mean you don't eat, no taste, no hearing, nothing. ये बंदर वाला किस्सा नहीं है, three monkeys. It is all about getting detached from it so that you elevate your level from that senses. So they cannot control you. It does not mean you cannot eat, you cannot hear. No, you can hear everything, even better. But they will not control you. So you elevate that. Okay, then that is one stage come Purusha. Purusha means your ego. Purusha is needed to operate in this world. But in the spiritual journey, if you can ascend that, then you are going beyond ego. That is the way you can retrace the path back to the Shivatva, the 100% purity. So to go beyond Purusha, you need not to die. People think, oh my goodness, I have to die. No. Whatever death takes you, at the time of death, whatever goes from you, all these things, your relationship, your property, your bank balance, your designation, your educational qualifications, all your relationships, your name, even your body, all this goes at the time of death. If you can, in living condition, if you can get detached from all these things, you elevate that. Means if you experience death in the living condition, whatever happens at the time of death in the living condition, you got enlightened. You go beyond that body, mind, and intellect package. So in that's what they say, by being dead, you become immortal. Being dead means you need not to actually die. You can just ascend that level so that in this, it cannot touch you anymore. You are not threatened by anything external, what is happening, then you can ascend that level. Sharmishta, want to ask something?
Yes, Rajiv, can you elaborate a little bit more? How can I experience? I know you are saying by detachment, but in depth, how can I experience death?
No, you need not to experience physical death. Okay.
No, I know what you mean, but
yeah. So it means if you get detached at the time, just analyze at the time of death what we have to surrender. It goes in an instant. You have no choice. Okay. So we value too much about our own educational qualification. Okay. If you get detached from it, if you not too much boast on it, that will go. Means it cannot control you. I'm not saying you have to surrender your certificate. I'm saying that if you are not, insisting upon that, so that it cannot affect you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Your wealth, if you are not boasting that, you are not putting that ego into that, you enjoy wealth, but you no need to show it.
Right.
Then you go beyond that. And then ultimately in the physical body, that all these five senses, they are meant for the physical body. So if you, no matter what your physical body is experiencing, if it doesn't touch you, that state called equanimity.
Right.
Okay. So if you go to that, no matter what body is sensing or feeling, it will not control you anymore. Sant Kabir, he was sitting on a park bench, and one dog came and bite his leg. So I think I shared this story earlier also. So then all other people in the park came to him and said, hey, some dog has bitten you and all these things, and you have to go for the treatment, and blood is coming out and blah, blah. Then what he said? He said, oh chamri jane or kutta jane. Means it is between my flesh and the dog. Means it has nothing to do with me. So this kind of detachment he has from his body. Okay. And we get irritated if the air conditioning temperature is 2 degrees above what we want. Okay. So this is a level of acceptance and level of detachment that plays into here. Okay. So only thing you have to go out of the external factor controlling your mood. That's what you need to do. Okay, you enjoy, but if it comes, it's fine. If it doesn't come, that is also fine. If you go to that state, then nothing can control you. That answers your question, Sharmishta?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, God bless you. So this we are talking, we are not here, and detachment does not mean creating a barrier or wall around you. It's not a self-imprisonment or isolation. You can do normal life, enjoy everything in your life, but if it doesn't happen, then also you are equally enjoying the life. That is the state. That is a state of equanimity. If it happens, you enjoy. There is no rejection. Somebody have a reverse kind of feeling. If they enjoy something, they feel guilty. Means they don't deserve it. Okay, it's not that. Best thing is self-love. You have all the things. We are here. The Creator has created you. Send it to on earth for experiencing and enjoying. The poverty, struggle, and things, these are not what we are meant for. We are here to enjoy, but only thing is that illusion of enjoyment is controlling us. In the name of happiness and enjoyment, we apply our brain, do a lot of schemes and do certain things and think we are too smart. We enjoy things. But they say that enjoyment, the pleasure is for pleasure is temporary and karma is permanent. If you bind karma in doing that, karma will not release you. It will go even after death, next life. Okay. Here the awareness comes, the detachment comes. Okay. You can enjoy life without harm to anyone, with full congruence. Congruence means thoughts, words, and actions in the same line. With full detachment from inside, then you maintain your purity, no matter what you do. Okay, if you maintain that character, this spiritual character has nothing to do with the morality, moral or immoral thing. If you do something which people consider immoral, but you are not harming anyone, your thoughts, word, and action are same, you are not get attached to it, you are clean. No karma is bound. But suppose I'm too smart and I thought I will cheat somebody. Maybe I cheated one girl, I promised to marry her, I didn't marry. I thought, oh, see how smart I am. That girl will come next life as your wife and you can see what life that could have been. Okay, it is not going anywhere. Anyway, so these particular aspects, to go beyond the awareness itself, it doesn't make that happen, any karmic thing to happen. Simply be in the awareness. I give that, normal example of, suppose crossing a road. You are crossing a road. If you're not aware which side, which car is coming and some car came and banged you. So you fall down and broke your leg or whatever. You got hospitalized. How to stop yourself not getting hit by a car while you are crossing the road? Simple awareness. Be aware. The car can come from this side, that side, and when you see the gap, you pass through. Simple. To avoid accident. The awareness can stop you that some karma to be built similar way. Okay, so somebody says, okay, I don't believe in this and that. I don't believe in law of gravity. You go and jump from the 10th floor of a building. Then you will realize what is the law of gravity is. And when that happens, it doesn't matter what you believe or don't believe. Law will be still applicable to you. Some people are too smart. They say, I don't believe in law of karma. So that means it is not applicable to me. That's what I'm giving this example. You don't know or don't like law of gravity. So you say, I don't believe in law of gravity. Go and jump from the 10th floor. Then you will realize what the law of gravity is. So whether you know it or don't know it, ignorance is not an excuse. It will be applicable to you, everyone. So as law of karma. It does not matter what you believe in it or not. Comes from the energy imbalance. Energy cannot be imbalanced. It is a universal law. It cannot be. The energy has to, like a pendulum, it has to come to the neutral position to be stabilized. It cannot stay in the one deflected position. The moment the force is removed, it will come back to that original position. So as the karma, so as the life. Simply awareness. If I walk with the path of awareness, then we are not moving the pendulum in either direction. That is called zero karma actions. Zero karma, not action, thoughts, words, and actions. All three together. All free will characteristics. The masters, they are in congruence. Thoughts, words, and actions. They don't meant or think do any harm to anyone. They don't bind any karma. All the thoughts, words, and actions coming out of compassion, expressing pure love. In that way, they tune themselves much, much higher level with the divinity. They become the expression of the divinity. So everything in life become enjoyable. It is like means you come to a level that you become a father and you have small children. You say that two small children fighting with each other, they are fighting, but you are enjoying. You know that what to stop, what to control, what is harmful, what is not. Fighting also you'll enjoy, you will play also you'll enjoy, everything you will enjoy. You will not go to the finger pointing and blaming that child. Maybe one is maybe 2 years old, another maybe 1 year old. Okay. You will enjoy. You know that I have full control, I'm father. The children are playing, fighting, or shouting, doesn't matter. Just whatever they do, it is acceptable to you. Because you know they are your children. Now you expand that all over the globe. So everybody would treat them like that kind of children. They're playing with each other and that's it. Where is the complaint? You enjoy. Okay. Only thing you protect. If the children doesn't do something, they will harmful. They go to the near the wall or window or something. That's a different issue. I'm saying unless that, if the risks are controlled, then you enjoy no matter what they're doing. Same here. Okay, you go to that level when you're operating level, and from that operating level, when you expand it, then everything is just you are watching the game. You are watching the Leela. Okay, nothing to be serious about. Nothing to be what to burst our brain about. Just enjoy the game. That's it. All right. Now, let me give you a few things that once we start practicing it. So normally, what are the spiritual practice we are already doing that will help you to achieve this kind of detachment, what I'm talking here.
Guruji, okay. Can I ask one question?
Yeah, just 1 minute. Hold it. Let me finish this part and then I will come. So just 2 minutes. First is that you have to stay detached. How to stay detached? Don't allow your mind to come and interfere into your business. It is only possible if you are witnessing your mind. 24/7 you have to witness. Constant vigilance. Vigilance of your mind and emotion, what is happening there. That's what, forget about outside. Because your experience is inside, no? So you have to give your attention. It should be within, not without. Focus inside. What is happening? Your mind, your emotions. What automatically comes out through a mouth, you just before that create that space so that you can witness, and there is a possibility that untoward words should not go out from your mouth. So first you create the space. Second thing is you accept uncertainty. Okay. The world is designed to give you uncertain events for your experience. If everything is certain, everything is programmed, everything is well in advance known, then we become a robot that will not give the experience, individual experiences. So accept uncertainty. That's how it is designed. And those uncertainty means 50% will be of our liking, 50% will be our disliking. And if we don't have very stringent criteria for liking, of course, then it will be maybe 20%, 10%, 5%, something like that. And how you can go to the level that even if some outcome happened which is you didn't expect, you didn't foresee it, but something happened. That's called uncertain. No? How we can accept. Now, I'm spiritually speaking, go into the field which is called field of possibilities. It's actually infinite. If you go into the field of possibilities, then you will realize some event can happen 1,000 different ways. And if we focus ourselves only one outcome, then there will be a very high chance that it will not happen, because it is 1,000 possibilities are already there. 1,000 outcome can happen. So smart way will be, okay, smart is a mind game. Wise way will be not to get attached to any one of the outcome. If you are open to all the field of possibilities, then you become spiritual. Then no matter what the outcome is, you accept it, because you know that by design, anything can happen. Lot of possibilities. It not necessarily only particular outcome has to come. When you do that, then you become godly. Okay, your level, your spectrum becomes so big, then you can accommodate. And that is what exactly I was talking about, the infinite patience or infinite acceptance. Because you accept all fields of possibilities, not one outcome. And if you operate from there, then you become a part of that infinite. Or you represent that infinite. So any outcome is acceptable to you, because you understood what is field of possibility means and what it can produce on its own. You need not to do anything. You accept that and move on. That is the best detachment thing you can develop through spiritual practices. And to do that, first thing foremost, you have to just get rid of your ego mind. And that's what the sadhana is all about. To achieve stillness of mind, so that it cannot control, give the judgment and leveling and everything like that. All right, so that completes our theoretical session. Now, Monali, you can ask your question.
Yes, Guruji. You said detachment with external world, but our relationships, like whatever relationships we are having, that is also part of the external world. Do you
Correct.
mean that detachment in relationship also, detachment should be there? I mean,
Okay, in the morning I answered this question. Let me explain. It's a good point. These relationship issues, it is called detached attachment. You have to detach from lower level so that higher level attachment can be built. If we keep picking up small things on the lower level, mind level, that higher level will miss all the time. And I have given example in the morning that how I practice that, how I can drop the lower level stuff. I played a role of non-existent family member. Okay. Then I convinced myself as a part of my practice, part of my how to achieve that. So I find out my own way, own method statement, own procedure. What I did is I stopped giving my advice and anything even word into any family event. Idea is, I thought 60 years back there was no Rajdeep. 60 years from now there will be no Rajdeep. How does it matter if Rajdeep doesn't exist right now? So I'm operating in the family. I'm not running away to Himalayas. I'm in the family. I'm doing all the duties, earning money, paying bills and things like that. Going to market and bring vegetables, all are there. But I'm not giving my view or opinion or anything. Okay. So suppose that my daughter says, Papa, I have to go there. I said, okay, let's go. So then my wife said, now I have to go to another place. Okay, first we go there, then we'll go there. Then they said, okay, but we have to bring something from there. I said, okay, buy whatever you want. Well, you don't have, you have any view that what we should do and what should you get? I said, no, I don't have. Whatever you like, you get. Okay. Then came home, and next day again, have to go again to the same place. Why? Because what he bought yesterday, I have to return that and get another one. I didn't ask that is 50 kilometers away, and why unnecessarily you burn petrol? And I'm just, do you think I'm a driver? I didn't say that. Okay, because Rajdeep doesn't exist. Who will say I'm a driver? Okay, you want to go there? Let's go. We went there, then do the chain, came back. No. So this I practiced for quite a few months. Then magic happens. Okay, because there is no input there in the lower level. No? So then nothing is there happening in the lower level. So the connection from the top level has developed, and the lower level has its natural death. Because there is no input. There is no ego playing here. Okay, there is no clash. So slowly, the original, you have to scheming things, you have to tell this so that they tell that, then I will tell this, and so all tell and this and that will be closed. Clap cannot happen in one hand, no? So other hand is removed. So how much we'll try to clap, nothing is happening. So this hand also will drop. That was I'm just sharing my experimentation. But of course, everybody's life is different. Everybody's path is different. Everybody's karmic lesson is different. Understand that. Okay, so you have to find your own way. But that is called detached attachment. Unless until you detach from the lower level, you cannot go to the higher level. I explained earlier that walking the steps, climbing the steps, your one foot is on the third step, left foot, right foot is on the, fourth step. You wanted to go to the fifth step. So you have to release third step, left foot, so that put that foot in the fifth, and this fourth will be sixth. That's how we climb up. If you don't want to release the left foot, the third step, you will never be able to go to the fifth. You get stuck. That's why most of the cases are happening. People get stuck, blaming XYZ, everything outside. But doesn't matter what you blame and you don't blame, it doesn't matter. Fact of the matter is you're picking up and making your experiences mostly negative. Let that attachment go. Let your, biggest addiction is to be right. Okay. I realized a long time back. Yes. Biggest addiction is not, drinking and drug and things like that. Yeah. People wanted to be right. That is the biggest addiction. If you can get out of being right, no, then things will sort out by itself. So why? So people will ask, no, I'm right. I said, yes, you are right, but that is your version of right. Truth may be somewhere else. And who asked you to be truth? To be on the, enforce truth. In the name of enforcing truth or belief system, millions got killed in religious war and things like that, yeah? A lot of ethnic cleansing happened. Hitler and this kind of stuff. In the name of truth, they thought they're doing God's work. Who asked you to be God? First question. So your version of the truth may not be the truth at all. Only if we leave it to that field of possibilities and we just control ourselves rather than outside, matter ends there. We elevate ourselves from the level. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Guru.
All right. God bless you.
So that's the question I have.
Yes, Shaival.
Yeah, so since you talk about the householder spirituality, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe most of you, I also had expectations which were not met earlier in my life.
Yeah.
And I was mad at myself, I was mad at others, and the creator and all that.
Mhm.
But now, at the point I've reached, I'm feeling that I didn't have to meet I didn't have to meet or win all those battles to win the major war, right?
Mhm.
But so at this time I said I think it's better that it didn't happen then and it happened now.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I'm thinking that when I apply myself in the real world, right, householders or at workplace, where we are taught to be meticulous, plan, and get, how do I switch between these two mindsets?
Good question. You just play the role. Don't own it. You said this is my role to play. I'm playing that role. Like an actor act in the movies and theaters. No?
Okay.
Okay, you say that I am different. When I can see what Rajdeep is doing, Rajdeep is thinking, what is Rajdeep's duty? Rajdeep is playing. That's okay. But I am not attaching everything into it. The moment I attach everything into it, then whole my entity will be disturbed. Now I have a space. I have something. Higher self, lower self is doing this like a child. Higher self is watching. That's it.
So the higher self is the spiritual self?
Yes,
Right.
yeah. Your soul consciousness. Okay.
Okay, got
So
it.
if you connect in that level, no matter what the lower self is doing or not doing, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay.
So I may allow the lower self to be playing that role,
Yeah.
whether it fails or not, but the spiritual or the higher self is watching, and whether it fails or not, should I guide the lower self?
Of course. Yeah. So, but the thing is, your duty has been developed as per the rules of the game of the lower dimension. So you have to play that.
Right.
Okay. Under the rules, whatever you do, mainly you get guidance from higher self so that you don't bind any more karma. That's the only guidance you need. Okay. Even I was giving in the morning the other example. If a judge is giving death punishment to 5 people, still he will not bind any karma because he is doing his duty. Death penalty, he's ordering to kill someone. Okay, so do your duty, but make sure there is no personal vendetta is involved here. That's all. If it is there, you'll bind karma.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Yes, Vikas.
RP, I have a question. When you say higher self and lower self, so most of the time we are at lower self. I mean, this is the body, mind, complex and all that. But how to reach to that higher self by saying neti or something like that, or
No. Simply by silencing your mind, so that we call it as a whisper from beyond. If you silence your mind, no stillness, you'll be able to communicate with your higher self. If you stop your internal noise, thoughts, then you'll be able to communicate. That's all. It's already there. You need not to bring or import from somewhere. But you are not listening to that voice because too much noise inside you in the form of thoughts, uncontrollable thoughts. that is become a barrier between your higher self and the practical self or lower self.
Yeah.
Or ego self. Okay. If you stop that, you'll be able to have that connection. You can understand. It will be two-way communication. You'll be able to understand, and that is your inner guru. Your soul consciousness is your inner guru. Only thing you have to practice till the broadband connection is established, so that you can live your life under the direct guidance of your soul consciousness. That is a path of purity, zero karma. Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you, RPS.
Okay. God bless you.
Guruji,
Hariom, you wanted to ask? Yeah,
Haan,
go
Guruji.
ahead.
First one is like you're saying we are living in Aishwaryavan spirituality.
Muktatma.
Mukta.
Mhm.
Tomorrow
Hello.
I go to we are enjoying in our home. But tomorrow
Yeah.
I go to a place or an office where there's no AC or you don't find a car or you're moving. How difficult it is to accept such things because you get used to it.
Okay. Yeah.
That is one.
So, mhm.
Second is, Guruji, you say कि I am not saying anything. If my child says कि आज दोबारा market जाना है, but suppose we go to an ice cream parlor and somebody says कि भाई which ice cream you will have, you will say कोई भी खिला दो. It means what? They say कि ये तो indecisive आदमी है, he doesn't have an opinion.
Correct.
Whatever you offer, he will have,
Mhm.
or he doesn't know what is to be eaten.
Yeah. How does it matter what he thinks?
हाँ, so this actually matters to your ego,
वो
basically.
वो क्या सोच रहा है इसमें क्या लेना देना?
हाँ जी. नहीं, but
He
your
may
family
think
only
you-
think your
See, he may
family
think
only
you are
will
a
think.
criminal. You will be criminal? No, it doesn't
No.
matter. See, because it is called conformity, you are trying to fit into the image of someone and behave accordingly. And this is the first thing you need to drop on the spiritual path. You are not answerable to anyone other than your higher self. Okay? वो क्या सोच रहा है उसका दिमाग के अंदर जो भी है उसमें हमें क्या लेना देना है उसका दिमाग में कुछ सोच रहा है मेरे बारे में ठीक है सोचने दो उसको बट वी विल पिक अप अगर वो आइसक्रीम में अगर समथिंग टॉस करके भी लेना पड़े टेक इट एंजॉय द गेम एंजॉय द शो और इफ यू वांट टू रियली एंजॉय थिंक देखो उसका जो सोचना में बिगड़ गया ना तो वो जो हमें पिछले 5,000 आइसक्रीम बिका होगा उसमें एक भी आदमी आके ऐसा नहीं कहा होगा ही विल रिमेम्बर नेक्स्ट फ्यू इयर्स कि ऐसा भी एक आया था खरीदने के लिए ओके टेक इट पॉजिटिवली ओके अच्छा पहला क्वेश्चन क्या था व्हाट वाज योर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन
What that becoming an Aishwaryavan first spirituality following, you get
No,
used
if it
to
is some
particular
SC or
one.
something is garbad hai, how we can accept that? What? Yeah.
Because you get used to it. You're using at home. You're using in your office. You go to a third place. You don't find it. Now, how to accept that? Ki, yeah, everything is okay. Though you may be sweating.
Yeah. No, fine. No, what I'm saying is, if you can do something, you do it. We are not saying कि मैं spiritual हो गया अभी बहुत गर्मी लग रहा है एसी को हाथ लगाने के लिए मना किया it's not that what I'm saying is some place you go it is out of your control
Okay.
maybe you are sitting in an aeroplane you cannot change the temperature
That's fine.
okay yeah but if you have a choice why not enjoy life okay वो तो poverty conscious में दोबारा चला गया you intentionally wanted to punish you that is not what it is meant it is meant if you don't have an option you accept whatever it is your acceptance will make your life easy rather than the entire plane the flight you are thinking कैसे इसको 2 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड और कम किया जाए किसको बताए इसको फोन कर रहा है उसको बुला रहा है तू इधर कर उधर you are disturbing yourself and others also ओके, एक्सेप्ट इट। चलो क्या फर्क पड़ता है, 2 घंटा बैठ लेंगे फ्लाइट में, 2-4 घंटा, 2 डिग्री क्या फर्क पड़ता है? ओके, समथिंग लाइक दैट, दैट इज कॉल्ड
One more,
एक्सेप्टेंस।
one
Yeah.
more thing, Guruji, which is I'm not able to uh, understand it fully. The previous times we used to follow brahmacharya, we used to go to an ashram and then follow spirituality.
Your voice is breaking.
Now we are following the system where we
Can
are
you
staying
repeat
in the
your
world.
question? Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat your question?
I'll repeat, sir. When we are in the earlier times, we used to stay in the ashram, sir, and follow brahmacharya, and then follow read scriptures, and then follow the path of spirituality.
Yeah,
And money used to be considered as part of Maya.
correct.
Now we are following part of Aishwaryavan, this thing. Now, how this change of
Again, you are breaking. But anyway, let me answer this question. That path is a path of sannyas, where पैसे को हाथ लगाना भी मना है, sannyas.
Hanji.
But we are family people, no? Householders. So our path is different. Okay, like जो है ना, मेक्सिको में मेक्सिकन खाना खाते हैं लोग, इटालियंस खाना खाते हैं, हम लोग दाल रोटी चावल खाते हैं. इट्स अ डिफरेंट पाथ. ये अच्छा बुरा कुछ नहीं है. As long as you are getting nutrition is all fine. You have to only choose कि if you're a householder, don't behave like a sannyasi. Okay. When you go to the sannyas path, follow that path completely. Don't even coming back and follow the householders. That's it. Simple as that. कि पहले वाला बाद वाला बात नहीं है. You have a choice. A mountain can be climbed in 100 different ways. Okay. The path we have chosen is householder spirituality. ठीक है, उसमें कॉकटेल बना के उसको खराब नहीं करना है. You follow this principle. Our aim is to enjoy life, earn money and all. Nothing wrong in that.
Okay.
But sannyasi wala path is different. They don't touch money. That's a different path. Means they have different food system. Okay. वो मेक्सिकन सॉस आप दाल में डालेंगे तो कचरा हो जाएगा ना. This no need. Let them enjoy their food. Let us enjoy our food. Both are okay.
Okay.
But mixing is not allowed. Cocktail is not allowed. You choose whichever lifestyle or path you like to follow and follow it till the end. Everything ultimately goes there.
But Rajdeep, I also feel, there's a correlation between this because, for example, earlier days हम लोग गुरुकुल में जाते थे पढ़ने के लिए. बाद में यूनिवर्सिटी सिस्टम हो गया.
Yeah.
अभी everything is open source, सब available.
Yeah.
I say there's a journey of evolution to this path as well, right?
Yeah. Earlier Gurukul days, all the Gurukul was sponsored by the king.
Yeah.
अभी वो king भी नहीं है, kingdom भी नहीं है, वो पैसा भी नहीं है.
Or there was an
Okay,
effort
so-
to control the education.
Yeah. So Gurukul has to modify itself to fit into the open economy.
Yeah.
That is the reason. Gurukul में कोई खराबी कुछ नहीं है. Neither there is our system of things. It's just a different. That's all. It's
But
a
at the
different
same time, if you think about the Gurukul system, only son of a Brahmin, similar to doctors, पहले क्या होता था? Doctor के बेटा और बेटी doctor बनेगा, engineer. But then वो खत्म हो गया when we started the institutional systems that you go to a
Yes.
university, it doesn't matter who you are, you can become a doctor, engineer.
Yeah.
अभी तो doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you can learn or you can have the knowledge.
Every system has a pros and cons. I call it, every system has its own flavor. Enjoy the flavor. जब ऐसा था we enjoyed the system. Now ऐसा है वो भी I am enjoying the system. Doesn't matter. System keep on changing as per the field of possibilities. Okay. I accept both. तो मेरे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। गुरुकुल में भी जाने बैठना पड़े, नो प्रॉब्लम। रिमोट लर्निंग में वो जो है ना, लैपटॉप का सामने बैठना पड़े, नो प्रॉब्लम। क्लासरूम में जाके उधर घंटी बजने के अंदर उसके पहले घुसना पड़े क्लासरूम में, आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम, ऑल आर फाइन। Okay, I'm going with the flow and enjoying whatever life brings to me. Okay. All right. Any other question from anyone? No question?